we're live. So another episode of Cyber Bytes, the podcast. And today I'm joined by Eyal, who is the co-founder and CPO at Suite Security. So it's great to have you on. How are you?
Good. Great to be here.
Thank you. So BlackHat this week, we're here on the ground. How are you guys finding it so far?
Exciting, busy.
Very busy.
That's good. So, yeah.
And do you have a suite?
We have a suite.
Yeah.
At a Luxor.
Nice.
Okay.
And a booth
And a
as
booth.
well?
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Is it the first booth at BlackHat this year, or have you had it before as well?
We had a booth last year
Okay.
as well. We have done 2 RSAs and 2 BlackHats.
Awesome. Okay, nice. And what's the objective for you coming into this week as a business?
Well, visibility, of course, and it's a good opportunity to meet current customers and potential customers, and awareness at the end. I think that it's important, and it's easy for us. It's easy for us taking into account our name and branding. The visibility is easy. Everybody sees us. It's a glowing yellow. Even our booth is a glowing yellow booth. So everybody sees it. So
Can't miss you guys.
Nobody can.
So the way I like to start the podcast is just to rewind. So for the audience that don't know who you are, what's your background, and take us up to Suite and how you got to Suite.
Yeah, so we have both. Actually, our 3 co-founders has vast experience in the Israeli army.
Okay.
We have been in Unit 8200 for many years. And our 3rd founder was in the special operations divisions, but we all had dealt with the cyber arena for many years. Dror, our CEO, was at the end of his career in the army, was the CISO of the IDF, retired as a brigadier general. And I was leading the largest operation center in Unit 8200, meaning that I was, we were conducting offensive cyber operations for the army and the government. I had 1,000 people doing offensive cyber operations. When you try to think about nation state attacks, well, that was us. It's fine when you work for the government, right? Things that you can do only when you are there. So it was amazing. It was interesting, and we tried to. When we retired, we finished our service. We tried to think about ways to bring our expertise and the way we see things to help the industry. And we found out that we found out at the end that CISOs are quite miserable. That's how we called it, especially when it comes to cloud environments. Back in the days when everything was on-prem, things were a little bit easy for everyone because the CISO could have decided whatever was needed. I mean, a new firewall, no problem. A new EDR, no problem. That was very easy to deploy, to influence, to be in charge of. Now in cloud, the CISO actually is responsible, but has no authority. The R&D is the one with the authority of what is going to happen in the cloud environment. That's a production environment of the company. It's very delicate, very sensitive. So the CISO is responsible without the authority. Responsibility without authority is not so recommended.
Sure.
And that's why we call the CISO as a miserable CISO. And we try to sweeten the life of the CISO because we understood that bringing in the visibility that is needed for the cloud environment to be able to fulfill the responsibility in a way that can be achieved easily is very, very important. So that's what we decided to build.
Awesome. Very cool. And what was the vision for you guys initially, and has that changed?
Yeah, so that's a good question, because when we started, it seemed to us like the main piece in the puzzle that was missing was a detection response, a good detection response solution for cloud environments. It seemed to us like that the only security companies doing detection response, actually, they shifted and lifted their solutions from on-prem to cloud. They weren't built specifically for cloud. So we decided to build a detection response solution that was built specifically for those cloud environments.
Right.
Very lean, very efficient, that will detect the relevant attacks, not attacks that are relevant for your office environment, attacks that are relevant for complicated environments with very large attack surfaces.
Sure.
So that's what we built when we started.
Yeah.
And then we found out that we can bring value in other places as well, because since we had to build a way to give that visibility to that cloud environment, we understood that visibility, those insights that we bring, can be used to harden the environment, to prevent attacks, and not just to detect them and to remediate them. So we have added vulnerability management, identities, secrets, a very powerful topology tool, and more that can help you harden the environment and make it safer and more protected.
Yeah, very cool. Okay, and you've been building for a while now. What's maybe one of the biggest challenges that you've faced, and how have you overcome that since you've been building?
Right. So actually, when we started, the main debate, or the one thing that we were very concerned with was whether CISOs are going to agree to deploy some kind of an agent or a sensor to their environment. And we were using eBPF technology from day one. We were exploring the possibilities. We tried a few open source frameworks for that. But at the end, we decided to build our own sensor. And the result is the leanest sensor in the industry right now. We wrote it in Rust instead of Go, as I said, from scratch. So what we found out at the end, that our sensor is getting deployed easily, and CISOs are willing to deploy it. With no problems, because when they go to their DevOps teams and they ask them to deploy us, and they see how easy it is, how lean it is, that we will never influence the environment. Something like that happened lately to CrowdStrike cannot happen in our kind of solution.
I see.
So that issue became a non-issue at the end.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah. And in terms of you guys' suite then, so can you explain your USP and what makes you truly different from some of the others in this space?
Yeah, so since we knew from the beginning that we are going to deal with sophisticated environments and environments that run applications, native applications for cloud environments, we built our solution in a way that will generate very little amount of noise from one hand, but will detect every attack at the end. And we did it by building a baseline of the environment, including the application. Some companies are dealing just with the environment. Some companies we look just at your cloud infra environment. We do all of it. We build a profile of every service, every container, everything that runs on your cloud environment, from the application to the infrastructure, everything. And then we follow the deviations. That approach enabled us to be able to take down the amount of false alerts dramatically from one hand, and as I said, on the other hand, to be able to detect every attack, even if that attack looks legit and will not trigger any alert at all. So that's that. I mean, is our main differentiator. And then, as I said, we understood that we have very deep insights to the environments. We go down to layer 7. We see secrets in motion. We see a lot of things that most vendors will not be able to even see. So,
yeah, makes sense. Okay, very cool as well. And here at BlackHat this week, I know you've had a few announcements recently that are coming out. Can you tell the audience about some of the stuff that's been released?
Yes, so our latest announcement was regarding our AI capability. We have a playbook feature, a new one for our detection response capability, actually helping the SOC team to remediate easily, bringing in a cookbook. For the SOC team, explaining step by step, what is being needed and why, and we suggest even like how to do it for every step. So it's very easy process for everyone. Engaging, the complication of the cloud environment, making it a little bit easier for the SOC team. That's one. Second feature that we have added is in our vulnerability management mechanism. We are always into prioritizing better the vulnerabilities and what should be patched first. So we already had we know what have an internet-facing connections, and we know what's really running and in use by the application. And now we have added the impact on your environment. So we know automatically, without anyone telling us, what's more important regarding the business and not just from the technical aspect.
Yeah.
So we have added that as well. So now the prioritization of the vulnerabilities is even better.
More efficient. Yeah, makes sense. Cool. And what do you see playing out in the future of the space? Do you have any predictions over the next year to 2 years of how the space is going to play out from cloud or vulnerability management perspective?
So I think that probably what we're going to see is, a best of breed approach. I know that the industry likes consolidations, but I think that at the end, customers and companies are looking for best of breed solutions for every piece of their security stack.
Yeah.
They don't want to have a just okay solution just because it's a one platform. That's not good enough. So in my opinion, the best of breed approach is going to be very dominant in the future.
Yeah. And how about you guys then at Suite? So what's your objectives maybe for H2 and into next year as well? Do you have any key milestones or objectives you're looking to hit as a business?
Yeah. So first, we want to be actually the first choice for everyone looking for a shift right solution. For now, we work in parallel to all the major CSPM solutions. So you can take a CSPM solution and you can handle the shift left stuff with one vendor, and you can take us to be the shift right solution for you. In the future, we might decide to add the shift left stuff as well, and to cover everything. But for now, we concentrate in being the best of breed, as I said, to your shift right.
Yeah, very cool. And what was the story of your first customer? I'm always curious about this story because some say it was like friends, some say it was a big enterprise just happened to land. Do you have a story around that?
Well, actually, yes. Our first customer, I think, was Fireblocks.
Okay, wow.
And we know the founder, we know the CEO. And actually, when we came to the CISO, he said, well, if you're going to talk to our founder and CEO, during the POC process, you're out.
Okay.
And we said, well, we like it. I mean, we take the challenge, no problem at all.
Okay. Yeah.
And actually, we appreciated the attitude.
Yeah.
Because at the end, that CISO, he needs to take care of his company to make sure that he chooses the best solution, no matter what. So they conducted a very long POC.
Okay.
But at the end, they chose us.
Okay.
And then he came back and said, well done. Now, now I can even talk about your solution. And now that I'm convinced totally, I'm willing to share my experience with you. So it was a nice experience for us because we felt that we won, because of our solution and not because of our connections. And that was important for us.
Yeah, that's a great story. And to kind of wrap this up then, Eyal, and it's been a pleasure to have you on, by the way. As someone that's building a business, right, with your co-founders and still building Suite, if you had to give one piece of advice to an inspiring entrepreneur that's looking to build a security startup, given what you've learned over the years, is there something that comes to mind or something that you would share with that person?
Well, I think that the most challenging thing is that when you have just an idea, most CISOs, for most CISOs, it's going to be very hard to give you a feedback on, something that it was not built yet.
Yeah.
So now you need to decide whether you would like to build some kind of a POC and run with it and get feedback. Okay, and in my opinion, that have to be done.
Okay,
that has to be done because at the end, it's very hard to give feedback on something that is just slides or an idea. Most of the good feedbacks that we got was from practitioners, people just that were at the end using our solution. And I think that the CISO would like to know at the end whether his or her people are they really using our solution? What's the benefits that we really bring in? And that usually can't be done without trying. So we keep, by the way, constantly adding new things and new features, trying them with our customers and getting feedbacks back.
Yeah.
And changing again and again and again. There were things that we actually tried and decided not to use anymore.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, there was things that we didn't imagine the value that they're going to bring. And we got a very good feedback.
Yeah.
Those.
It's good advice. And for those folks, if they want to get in contact with Suite Security, how should they do that? What's the best way?
Yeah. So our website is suite.security. And my email is Eyal, EYAL @suite.security.
Great. Well, Eyal, it's been a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll see you soon.
Thank you for listening to this very special BlackHat 2024 edition of Cyberbytes, the podcast. If you did enjoy the episode, please like, subscribe, and share with your colleagues and friends. If you're a candidate looking for a new role or a hiring manager looking for their next technical or GTM hire, then please reach out directly or via our company email info@asperonsearch.com.